Good afternoon. I'm Stephen Toop, and I have the honour to serve as President and Vice-Chancellor of the University of British Columbia. Every year at Congregation, UBC bestows honorary degrees upon individuals who, in the opinion of the university community, have fit the criteria of excellence and eminence in their chosen field. Michael Audain is one of those individuals, and I invite him now to step forward to receive his honorary degree. Madam Chancellor, a philanthropist and entrepreneur, UBC alumnus Michael Audain has a long history of social activism, community development, and generous support of the visual arts and culture in British Columbia. Mr. Audain's dedication to improving communities began in the early 1960s when he was a UBC art student researching residential segregation in the American South. His interest in the civil rights movement prompted him to support actively the group famously known as the Freedom Riders and their peaceful protest of segregation laws. After spending a month in a Mississippi prison, he returned to UBC, where he co-founded the BC Civil Liberties Association in 1962 and later completed a master's degree in social work. He subsequently undertook a series of appointments as a social worker, agricultural economist, and housing policy specialist with the Ontario Housing Corporation and the Canadian Council on Social Development. With the enduring ambition in community development, he later founded Polygon Homes Limited, one of British Columbia's most successful home builders. In 1987, he established the Audain Foundation for the Visual Arts in British Columbia, with a goal to promote the visual arts in BC and across Canada. His foundation's support has been extended to numerous British Columbia universities and galleries, including UBC, where, among many examples of his philanthropy and volunteer service, he has enabled the creation of the Audain Arts Centre to engage students and the community in learning opportunities and gallery events. He's also served as chair of the board of the National Gallery of Canada and is a trustee and past president of the Vancouver Art Gallery, as well as chair of the Vancouver Art Gallery Foundation. For his efforts and contributions, Mr. Audain has received many formal honours, including appointment to the Order of British Columbia and as an officer of the Order of Canada. Madam Chancellor, in recognition of his record of community service and for enriching the cultural heritage of our province and nation, I ask you to confer the degree Doctor of Laws honoris causa upon Michael James Audain.
By authority of the Senate of this university, I confer upon you, Michael James Audain, the title and degree Doctor of Laws honoris causa.
It now gives me great pleasure to ask Dr. Audain to say a few words.
Well, Madam Chancellor, President Toop, faculty, graduates, and ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to first thank you for the great honor that you've bestowed upon me. But even though my previous degrees from UBC came in the mail, I was told I had to show up today for this one. But I appreciate the honor, but I recognize today is really for you members of the graduating class. So please allow me to congratulate you. Your hard work, perseverance, walking in the drenching rain between classes has really paid off. And of course, you will remember this as one of the most important days of your life, and I'm sure it's a equally important day in the lives of your parents and all those who supported you to come to UBC. Now, when I was on campus nearly 60 years ago, UBC had 5,000 students, and I thought it was a huge place. Today, I'm told that there's over 10 times that number. The campus has become so big that I even need a map to find the building that has my name on it. But from what I gather, the overall mission of this scholastic community has not changed. It is still dedicated to academic excellence and educating people to provide leadership in Canada and increasingly the world. Thus, like you, I am very proud to be receiving today a degree from one of the world's leading universities. Over the years, I've been very impressed with how UBC has been in the forefront of scientific and medical research. I recently had the privilege of hearing the Dean of Science talk about quantum materials, and while I didn't really understand a word of it, I agree that it's absolutely essential that UBC stay in the forefront of research and its applications to society. At the same time, as someone like many of you whose first degree is a Bachelor of Arts, I hope that as the university moves further into the 21st century, that the arts in all their forms, music, dance, theatre, opera, literature, and yes, most especially the visual arts, will continue to flourish out here in Point Grey. For, after all, just like the world would be a sad place without the arts, the same thing would apply to a university devoid of those cultural activities that underlie the ethos of our civilization. Now, I am told it is customary when one receives an honorary degree to offer the odd pearl of wisdom. If I had some pearls, I'm sure my wife would prefer to have them, but there's perhaps a couple of things I can say that might be worth passing on. There's arrogance sometimes at universities, and it's not just the faculty, it's some of the students. When I was here, I'm afraid I was arrogant. I used to, based on what I heard in lectures and reading, I used to go around declaring, I'm only interested in ideas, I'm not interested in people. And you may recall that the 1960s had the reputation of being an exciting time, both on this campus and around the world. And as a young fellow, I was certainly caught up in the big ideas of that decade. But during the course of my life, I've come to learn that whilst being engaged in campaigns to change the world is vitally important, equally important are the personal relationships that one has at home or with colleagues in the workplace. The Chancellor told her she's had 9 careers. I'm amazed. I've had 5 careers, and yet I'm often asked how that's happened. And I never had a career plan which said I was going to end up being a home builder. In fact, at school, my vocational counselor recommended I become a librarian. But so what happened to me was purely pragmatic. I enjoyed meeting a wide range of people, and from time to time, new opportunities opened up. Of course, one takes a chance when moving on to something new. So the other thought I want to leave with you is that few things in life are accomplished without risk. Obviously, this applies to business and politics, the only difference being if you fail in business, you go bankrupt. If you fail in Canadian politics, you likely end up in the Senate. But embracing risk also applies to human relationships. We take a chance when we go out on a first date with someone, when we invest our love in a life partner, when we create children, or when we pull up roots to move to a new city or country. And there are, of course, ways to mitigate risk, and we should employ them. But excessive risk avoidance would just produce a stultifying society. Really, there can be no progress without risk. Canadians, it is alleged by some, are not as comfortable with risk as the citizens of certain other countries. And whether that's correct, I'm not sure. But I can tell you that if you wish to achieve your dreams in life, you're going to have to accept some risk. And for those of you with dreams, please don't abandon them too easily. The world needs dreamers because without them, we can never imagine a better tomorrow. It is the dreams of millions of men and women for a better tomorrow which has produced a world which today is largely at peace and which most people don't go to bed hungry. Alas, there's still much to be done before we can truthfully claim that we are treating all our fellow human beings as if they were our brothers and sisters, because I believe them to be so, that we're all the children of God, let alone accord proper respect to our relatives in the animal kingdom. For example, I personally believe that it is a disgrace that here in British Columbia, the provincial government issues permits each year for what they call the harvesting of up to 1,000 grizzly bears, magnificent grizzly bears, by so-called trophy hunters. And so, even though it's late in my life, it's now become my dream that this senseless slaughter be eliminated. Finally, once again, I'd like to congratulate all you graduates. I wish you well in the world ahead as you go on to fulfill your dreams. Thank you.